Hey y'all, how you perking? I hope you're perking good. So, Johnny Depp update with all this Amber Heard, the Sun, the whole saga, the whole thing, update time. Let me get this stuff where I can hear. Okay, and old peen sweater here, sporting a yellow look today, yellow eye makeup look, trying to match mama over here. So yeah, look at there. I did get the eyeballs to stick, if you can tell from the side angle. Thumbtacks or whatever those things are that you put in cork boards and stuff like that. It can stick to flat surfaces real well, like the head of these tacks. It just can't stick to the foam well, so poke the tacks through the porous foam. Win-win. So yeah. Old peen sweater there, sporting a yellow look today. We're all matchy-matchy. How about that? Okay, so, anywho, we're gonna get into this. I am a licensed mental health clinician as well as a spiritual intuitive, and in these videos we do take a look at the tea with the tarot. These videos are always meant to be helpful, not hateful, so if you're down with that, join the family here. We'd love to have you. And subscribe. If you haven't subscribed yet, go on ahead and do that. Make sure you're still subscribed if you thought you were. This is what the notification bell will look like if you're actually getting notified of the videos like you're supposed to, but please check. YouTube drops the ball. Perk Squad, that's the join button down there. Join if you want to be a member of the Perk Squad. And with being a member of the Perk Squad, you get 5 extra perks. You get to have custom emojis that I've designed, badges by your name that are colorful and denote how long you've been a member of the Perk Squad. You get exclusive posts, exclusive videos, and video shout outs like this one. Drum roll. Shout out to you, Lucile! Shout out to you, Lucile! So hey, thank you for being a part of the Perk Squad. Been seeing you type comments and stuff like that for a while now, so thank you for being a part of the Perk Squad. Shout out to you. Also, I wanted to just go ahead and say, one, thank y'all for dealing with the sound issue on the last video, my April 2021 predictions video. Everything sounded fine in my monitor, but apparently when my computer reset itself, it decided that it was going to push all sound to stereo instead of mono. And so, bless your hearts, y'all that used headphones, you had my voice in one ear but not the other ear, just music in the other ear, and I bet that felt weird, so sorry about that. I couldn't tell when I was editing this on my monitor because all the sound comes out the same place, and I couldn't tell through my phone either because all the sound comes out the same place, but headphone users, y'all alerted me, so I fixed it. I know it's fixed for this video. I'm hoping it's fixed for this video. I did a test, and it seemed to work. So thanks y'all for telling me and for bearing with me in that video. Also, one other thing, there have been a lot of people in recent videos, like I don't even know how many recent videos, where people are either commenting or direct messaging me on Twitter being like, hey, did I offend you for you to delete my comment? And I just want y'all to know, I rarely ever delete comments. Like basically I delete comments where things are really bad or rude towards other people or towards me or things like that. Other than that, yeah, I don't really delete anything. I mean, I don't. So YouTube though, I don't know what's the deal. Things just get disappeared. They get disappeared. I don't know if there's a rhyme or reason for it. People are like, well, if you know what the words are that YouTube will delete your comments for, just tell us so we'll know what not to write. I don't know, y'all. Y'all act like YouTube informs us of anything. We don't know. I'm so sorry. I don't know. I don't know what the rhyme or reason is. It seems random, kind of like how some of y'all have said, hey, I've gotten unsubscribed from your channel. I have no idea why, how, what the reason, none of that. So just rest assured that unless you're writing something that's hugely horrible to someone or yourself, I'm probably not going to be deleting comments unless they're egregious like that towards people. So if it disappears, assume YouTube did it. But anyway, enough with all of that. So Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, all of that today. I was able to be on a live stream with one of y'all, Percolator family, with your boy Gary. That's his little screen name. I'm sure you'll see him in the comments below, or you have seen him in the comments or comments on live streams and stuff like that. He's a Percolator, one of y'all. And he invited myself and my twin sister, because we both do cards. He invited both of us onto a live stream to read some cards about this Johnny Depp and Amber Heard situation, and also to read some cards on his sisters who are also twins. And so that video will probably be coming later if I'm going to do one on that. Don't know yet. But yeah, so the stream was called Twin Sandwich because he was stuck in between two sets of twins. Sisters by blood and sisters by YouTube. But yeah, so we did a live stream with him and did some readings on the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation. If you're a longtime OG person here, you know that I've looked into this before on my channel, 2 other videos, and those videos said, unfortunately, that Johnny Depp would not be winning his upcoming case. And so many people were like, you're an idiot, I can't believe you said that, you're so wrong, you're taking her side, you don't read information, you don't know what you're talking about, blah 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 blah. I caught a lot of hate for all that, y'all. I caught a lot of hate for that. And then what happened? In the UK, against the Sun newspaper, he lost his defamation case. And so my reading came true. That actually happened. And I've been a long time fan of his, so, you know, I understand the outrage and stuff. I like him too, y'all. But this was an update as a result of that. So, I'm just wanting y'all to take a peek at some of the questions that were asked, see what the cards said, see how this kind of came about, what's going on, what we can kind of anticipate next, things of that nature. There was a lot of context up in that reading that I did. So I am gonna play that. But if you're one of those people that has really enjoyed following along the Johnny Depp saga, then I encourage you to go subscribe to your boy Gary's channel, because he has a lot of content up there about that. He has written some playful songs and things which are fun about that. He's a really good singer and musician. Also, just as a strange aside, his birthday was this past week, I think, or whatever, the 26th, whatever day that falls on. I don't know when this video is going up and getting posted. March 26th was his birthday, so happy belated birthday to Gary on that. But yeah, y'all go check out his channel if you like following the Johnny Depp stuff. If you like laid back live streams where people are talking with each other and people are reading the comments and responding back to you and stuff like that. If you like that kind of vibe that you can get from smaller channels like mine and his, then I think that you'll like taking a part of his channel. So go over there, check it out, and I will see y'all here in just a little bit whenever it's done. But this is how it went. Yeah, so similar from what I'm getting, and just as a way to reiterate, about a year before I don't know how far, but a year before, I think, the trial, I had done a reading on my channel, which I think is how I ended up, I think that's how I ended up meeting Gary.
Yeah, that's the one. I did a video on it, and this was before I knew anything about the situation, and the cards came out saying that Johnny Depp would lose, and then he did. And so it was pretty clear in terms of energetic outcomes that was going to be the case about a year in advance, or however long. So a while in advance. And so it seemed like it was already clear. And I'm getting similar clarity here too. Just like what she said, with the World card upright, this is tying a bow around something. This is a circle coming to where they're saying over. This is an ending. This isn't over. They're saying that it's over. They give me this Empress card, which is what has come up in my readings about Amber Heard before. And they give me this on top of it, which is her ability to obfuscate facts, to make things cloudy enough that that's all she needs. Because what they're saying here, and I've said this in my videos too, is when you are the plaintiff, you have the burden of proof. The other person doesn't have to prove they didn't do whatever. You have to prove that they did in a certain kind of a way. And what you would think should be enough legally is not enough legally. Legal stuff is such a different animal than what we would see and what would make perfect clear sense to us. It doesn't work like that in a court of law. I've been in a lawsuit myself, and I know that road. I won mine. I won mine. But anyway, so what I'm seeing here, there's something about evidence issues where whatever looks good for him, there's something that also looks not good for him. And so there's things that you can't make one thing.
It's like, I'm not trying to interrupt your flow, but like you're seeing also the two cups poured out. So it's almost like somebody, like the person who's in this upper hand, it's almost kind of like taking what's there and just being like, just kind of like behind the scenes, like, it feels almost like get rid of it or pour it out.
With what I say,
those cards are so cute.
Yeah, those cards cute.
No horse.
Oh, mine, my baby ones? Oh, yeah. That's the first cards. But yeah, it's like they're saying the evidence is not there in the way that you need it to be in a legal fashion, which is going to seem so weird to common sense, because legal stuff, it is very different, and it's very weird of what counts, what doesn't count, and all of this kind of stuff. What is necessary to show proof, because you can make all kinds of these conjectures, and people can show, oh, that's circumstantial, or that's this. It doesn't show proof, and even if it seems so counterintuitive to us. And so we have this card here. He's kind of a bit of my I get him as kind of a bit of a fuckery card. So what it looks like is, unfortunately, and again, I don't know Amber Heard very much. I've only seen her in Aquaman. I don't care for her as a person. I like Johnny Depp, but on this looks like he did enough shit of any kind of whatever way himself that he allowed himself to land in a trap, basically. It's kind of like he didn't do enough he did enough also to where things could reflect poorly on him too, and it doesn't, and so it muddies the waters. It's kind of what I'm saying here. So here again, another card that is about things being done, just over. This is about, there are some things that the public may not even be aware of in some of this that has to do with it being done, that I don't know why the public wouldn't be aware of this. I don't know if there's, I haven't followed the case, so I don't know if there's certain things that they can talk about in court that they never release to the public, but it looks like that's the case, that there's something that we don't quite know. And with this, I see in terms of legal routes him wanting to keep trying to move forward. So it looks to me like he may make additional attempts to try to help himself. And what to me that's feeling like is, if I can just help myself before, because I think he has another one coming up, right? Another case at some point, like against just Amber.
Well, they pushed it back till next year, so there's a lot of time for that.
Okay, and so what I'm getting is like his sense of I have to turn the boat around by then so that I can make that look better. But what I'm getting here is, yeah, see him being freaked out, like, fuck, I got to figure out what the legal thing is here so that I can make things look better in time for that. But with this card here, it's going to be a very uphill battle, and the probability here does not look good for him to move. So I would say it's not impossible for him to whip something around, turn something around, but from this, it's not looking likely for him to be able to do that, unfortunately. Okay, sorry. Also, like sometimes cards can have like double meanings or whatever, multiple purposes in a reading. Another thing that I get from this is that it's kind of like one of the, I guess, how do you say it, like higher purposes of this is that we're supposed to, if you've noticed, in the world in general, we're having all kinds of things happen where we learn what doesn't work well. We've had the COVID stuff happen, and we've learned what we need to do in healthcare that we have been doing subpar. During that, schools went to all kinds of craziness, and we realized what wasn't working for teaching children and what we needed to change. And so there's a lot going on in the world right now that's making us realize what doesn't work and what needs change, the U.S. elections being one of them. And this is another aspect of that in terms of higher level, is that this is illuminating the justice system across the world, how it operates, what it does. Is there any bias? Does it favor certain people? How does this work? What do you need to do? And all of that. And it's illuminating what's broken and what needs to be fixed, just like all these other things are that are happening around on the world stage that we can see. They're highlighting what's broken and what needs to be improved, and this is one of those. So unfortunately, to me, it's looking like he has only a very narrow chance of turning this around for himself, and that a higher purpose of this is that.
I wonder if the cards could tell us if there was any kind of, tomfoolery going around with that justice system. You know what I mean? And I don't want to put it out there like that, but
like any corruption or something.
Exactly.
I'll just add the little bit of extras here that I see. The way my cards are kind of presenting it here would be like as if they're talking about, I don't want to use the word bias, but kind of like there's not bias when you're talking about legal stuff and facts, but there's something about like with that case in particular in the UK, there's something that I'm getting to the feeling of, and I didn't follow this, so I don't know, but there's something about like there was favor for the other side, and so the other side would have worked harder or tried harder or something like that, and they would have had whoever this is, some information bearer who would know just the stuff that they could bring to help kind of defend whatever it was. And again, the burden of proof rests on the person who's making these claims. And so the other person wouldn't have to prove that they didn't this, that, or the other. They would just have to knock holes in whatever the other person says. And it looks like Johnny Depp's side left enough room for people to knock holes in a legal sense. This is not common sense. This is a legal sense. And that he would have left enough room for them to poke those holes so that it was not enough to go that extra mile, and that there would have been some sort of like favor per se for the judge and them to be like, okay, good, that makes it simpler, or that makes it whatever, or either favor or like even, I don't know, there's something weird there. I can't put my finger on what that is, but there is some sort of a leaning, but to me, from what I'm seeing here, it doesn't look like it would have made a difference even if there wasn't. If there wasn't that leaning, to me, I don't think it would have made a difference in the outcome, but it looks like there was something there. But with these Pentacle cards in reverse, there is some kind of a like a status thing going on over there for the UK folks who were involved in this. And there's something about it where they felt like, for me to have my status or keep my status, I, look at it this way, or I'm going to think of it this way, or I'm going to present this way, or something. So there is something there, but it looks here like Johnny Depp their side left enough room to have the holes poked through. Is that fair? Not necessarily, but is that something that needs legal arguments? It does. So this comes down to the difference between fairness and common sense and justice in a moral way versus justice in a legal way. It's a difference here.
Yeah, and a bit of a biased way too, but.
And that's why people have a hard time wrapping their minds around it, because you're applying common sense, moral justice to something that is legal. And the way the legal system is set up is such that this would be hard to move around. It's just not enough when you're talking about level of proof, what you have to do for proof. And it's just so difficult. It's so difficult. If there was something that was happening and Amber was the one to move forward and start making these declarations, and she was the one to initiate something legal, there might have been a chance she would have lost because she was the one initiating. It seems a lot of times in this, the person initiating, because they have the burden of proof, and because proof is such a specific, weird thing legally, it creates a lot of weird shit, and the system needs reform. And this is meant to highlight that for people.
Yeah.
Alrighty, y'all. What do you think? What do you think? It's a lot. I had fun being on a panel there, getting to do some reads on the panel. I will, of course, link the video in the description, the full video in the description. That video had some unprecedented audio issues for his channel, not usually something that happens there, but bear with it. There's plenty of other great content on that channel for you to take a look at. And yeah, if you would like a private reading with me, then in the description box below, you'll see BeasTalksAndTarot.com, where you can get a private reading. And also for the month of April, since it is my birthday month, the month of April, I have a little special going on my website for this month only. I'm offering 15-minute little mini readings for just one question. That if you have just one question and you didn't want to, buy a longer reading for a higher price to ask multiple questions, you really just had this one and you would like a quicker, less expensive type of reading slot, then hey, we got that now for April. Go check it out. Go check it out. Catch you that discount if you want to. But yeah. Alrighty, y'all. Everything else is in the description too. Merch, P.O. Box, tips and donations, stuff about how I protect and cleanse and clear my space around readings, things of that nature. So if you want to check it out, go ahead, and we'll see what color old Peen Sweater decides they're gonna do their eyeshadow next time. Looking good there, Peen Sweater. Looking good. Damn, you're hot, Cynthia. No, I don't know. I'm just going to be coming up with bogus names every single time. I called it different names last time, too. Whatever. Margaret, you're fine. You're fine as hell. All right, y'all. I need to shut up. Anywho, type down below. Tell me what you think. And I will talk at you later. So don't be a stranger. And I love you, mean it. Love you, mean it. Bye, y'all.